Welcome back to the Walnut.
Let's deal with figure, partition and counting type of questions today. So let's say this is what it is: figure, partition and counting. What is that? So we'll have a figure. Doesn't matter, whatever it is. It could be a triangle, it could be a rectangle, it could be a square, whatever. We just partition it. 1, 2, 3 and 4. So 4 pieces are here for this triangle. So triangle is partitioned into 4 pieces. And the question is, how many triangles altogether we have? Altogether, how many triangles we have? So now we have the large triangle here. At the same time, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 small triangles as well. Right? So what's the total number of triangles? That's a question in front of us right now. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 triangles, small triangles. And we have a large triangle as well. So total 5 triangles. Is that what you think? So if you take one triangle at a time, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4. So T1 means we take one piece at a time. We have 4 such triangles. One piece at a time, 4 triangles. Then if you take 2 pieces together, that means 1 and 2 together, that's a triangle. Then 2 and 3 together, that's another triangle. 3 and 4 together, that's another triangle. So 1 and 2, 2 and 3, 3 and 4. So 2 pieces together, we have 3 triangles. 2 pieces together, 3 triangles. Now 3 pieces together, how many are there? 1, 2, 3, that's one triangle. Then 2, 3, 4, that's another triangle. So let me mark it with a different color. Say 1, 2, 3, one triangle here. At the same time, we have 2, 3, 4, another triangle. 2, 3, 4. Let me go with another color. This is what it is. So that's another triangle. So 3 pieces together, we have 2 triangles. 3 pieces, we have 2 triangles. And how about we take all these 4 pieces together? We get a large triangle, right? So large triangle, 4 pieces together. This is what it is. 4 pieces together, we get a large triangle. So ultimately, T4, we have one triangle. So how many triangles are here? 4 plus 3, 7. 7 plus 2, 9. 9 plus 1, 10. Well, we got 10 triangles altogether. Now the question, do we have a shortcut for this kind of questions? In this case, it is pretty simple. You can count it in like few seconds. That's perfectly all right. But some of the questions you may have, rather than 4 pieces here, you may have 8 pieces. Or you may have 12 pieces. In that case, you know what, counting may not be practical. So do we have a shortcut for that? So this is what it is. The number of pieces here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we take n as 4. Number of pieces, 4. So total number of pieces here, it's n into n plus 1 divided by 2. So 4 into n plus 1 is what, 5? So 4 into 5 by 2. So 20 by 2, 10. Same answer we have. So it doesn't matter whatever the shape it is. It could be a triangle or it could be a rectangle. If it is a rectangle that is, you know what, partitioned into pieces, 1, 2, 3, 4. And how many are there? How many pieces are here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 pieces are there. If there are 7 pieces in this rectangle, total number of rectangles we have. So what is the answer? Well, if you go for counting, that will take some time because we have 7 of them. So the answer is what? N into n plus 1. So n is equal to 7. So that is n into n plus 1. That's 8. So 7 into 8 divided by 2. 56 by 2, that would be the answer. So it could be triangle, it could be rectangle, even it could be a square, doesn't matter. But square, when it partition, we need to get the squares. In this case, triangle partition, what we are getting is a triangles. And a rectangle partition, we got rectangles. And if it's a square, when you partition, if you get the squares, then count the number of squares and you go for this method. So square, I won't recommend that method. We'll have a different method for squares. But for triangles, for rectangles, for parallelograms, all those kind of figures, we can use this method. Okay, let's move on. Let's take a look at this one. This is a square. A square, large square, is partitioned into 9 pieces. If it is 9 pieces, right, small pieces, we have 9. So the question is, what is the total number of pieces we have here? I mean, total number of squares we have here. At a glance, we have 9. 9 plus large square, 10. Is that the answer? Not necessarily. So let's take a look at that. How do we count it? The counting: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And if you take square, 1 square at a time, that means 1 piece at a time. How many squares we have? 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, right? And if you take 2 pieces, let's say if I take 1 and 2 together, 1 and 2 together, is it a square? No, that's a rectangle. And if I take 1 and 4, again it's a rectangle. If I take 1 and 5, it is not a rectangle, it is not a triangle, it's different shape. So ultimately, if I take 2 pieces together, it doesn't give any answer. That means we don't have a square. 3 pieces together, we don't have a square. But if you take 4 pieces, 1, 2, 4, 5, definitely we have a square. So 1, 2, 4, 5, what we have here? This is what? 1, 2, 4, 5, we have a square here. So 4 pieces together, we have 1 square. Any other 4 pieces? Yes, 2, 3, 5, 6, that's another square. Let me go for another color. 2, 3, 5, 6, that's another square. And apart from that, we have another one here. What is it? This one. 4, 5, 7, 8, that's another square. Let's go for a different color. This is what? 5, 6, 8, 9, that's another square. So 4 pieces together, if you look at that way, how many squares we have? 4 squares. So 4 pieces together, we have 4 such squares. So let's mark it as 4. 4. So this is 0, we don't count it. Then now S4, that means 4 pieces together, we have 4 such squares. Then 5 pieces together, we don't get a square. 6 pieces together, we don't get a square. So if the 6 pieces together, that's a rectangle, it's not a square. Then 7 pieces, no. 8 pieces, no. Then the next is what? All the 9 pieces together, we have a square. So 9 pieces together. 1. So all together, how many squares we have? 9 plus 1, 10 plus 4, 14 squares we have. 14. See that? At a glance, when you look at it, 9 pieces plus a large square. Normally what that comes to our mind is 10 squares. But in this case, it's not 10 squares, it is 14 squares. Now the question, this kind of questions, small numbers like it's 9 pieces or like 16 pieces, counting is somewhat practical. But if you go like, if you get a square like this one here, can you say that how many squares are there? Is it possible? Well, counting is somewhat, impractical. It's not really the best way to deal with that question because it takes a lot of time and sometimes it could be error as well. Error in terms of what? Sometimes you may feel like whether I have counted the square or not. So there are many squares inside. So you may have a kind of confusion whether I counted this one, this one, this one. That's a confusion you may have. So what is the logic or what kind of shortcut we can use for this kind of questions? Here, find the total number of squares. So we need to find the squares in this question as well. So look at the previous question. This is what? What can be the shortcut we can adopt here? This is what? 3 by 3 square. Actually, it is a 3 by 3, right? 3 rows and 3 columns. It's 3 by 3. If it is a 3 by 3, what is the answer we have? 14. How did you get that 14? We got it from here. 9 is what? 9 is 3 square. And 4 is what? 2 square. And 1 is 1 square. So if it is a 3 by 3 square, 3 by 3 regular square. So that means the number of pieces or number of squares altogether we have must be 3 square, 2 square and 1 square. So 3 square plus 2 square plus 1 square, that would be the answer, 14. And if it is a 5 by 5 square, then what is the answer? If it's 5 by 5, 3 by 3, that's 14. And if it is 5 by 5 or let's say 6 by 6 or 7 by 7, doesn't matter. So let's say 4 by 4. What is the answer then? 4 by 4, that means it must be 4 square plus 3 square plus 2 square plus 1 square. And how about 5 by 5? or it's 6 by 6 or 7 by 7. 7 by 7 means you have to start from 7 square. So 7 square, 6 square plus 5 square, all the way it goes to what? 1 square. That's a simple way of doing that, right? Next question right here in front of us. How many pieces we have? 8 and 8. So it's 8 by 8 square. If it is an 8 by 8 square, don't go for counting. What we do? 8 by 8 square means it would be from 8 square, 8 square plus 7 square plus 6 square, then 5 square, 4 square, 3 square, 1 square, 2 square and 1 square. So what is the answer? 64, 49, 36, 25, 16 and 9, 4, 1. Again, don't go for conventional addition. I'll show you how to do it. Go for rounding method. For example, 9 plus 1 is 10. 16 plus 4 is 20. So, 20 plus 10, 30. Now we have what? 64 and 36. How much is that? 64 and 36 together. So this together we have 30. And 64 and 36, that is 100. So we have 100 here. So 130. 130 and this one what we have is 49 and 25. So 50 plus 24. 50 plus 24, 74. So 130 plus 74. So 204 would be the answer for this question. 204. That's a method we use for counting. And this figure, if you really want to count it, it takes time. It could be like 2 or 3 minutes. Sometimes you may end up with the wrong answer as well. That's the reason we don't recommend actual counting for this kind of questions. Go for next one. This is what? How many triangles are there in each figure? So triangles are partitioned. Well, the first case triangle is not really partitioned. We have one full triangle. Second case, a triangle is partitioned into 2. Third case, it's 3. Fourth case, it's 4. So take a look at that. What do you get here? Okay, this time we go a bit fast. So how many triangles? One triangle. There's no other possibility. How many here? Well, n is equal to 2. If it's n is equal to 2, simple way of doing it, what's n into n plus 1 by 2? N is 2, 2 into 3 by 2. So that is 3 is the answer. How many triangles? 3 triangles. Which are the triangles? 1, 2 and there's 2 triangles together. So total 3. Here this case n is equal to 3. So what is the answer? 3 into 4, n into n plus 1 by 2. So 3 into 4 by 2. So 3 into 4, 12, 12 by 2 is 6. How do you get that 6? 3 triangles here. Then we take 2 each. Then we have the last triangle. That's it. And in this case, n is equal to 4. n is equal to 4. Same method. 4 into 5 by 2. So 10 triangles. If it is n is equal to 5, let's say 5 pieces are there. 5 pieces, what do you do? 5 into 6 by 2. 5 into 6, 30. 30 by 2 is 15. So it goes like that. And when you look at this numbers, if it goes in the increasing order, you see some kind of pattern in that series as well. What is that? 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 plus 3 is 6. 6 plus 4 is 10. And next one, if you have 5 pieces for this triangle, what would be the answer? You'll have 15, right? So that 10 plus 5 is 15. So see that? It forms a series.
If you need to have additional questions for practice, take a look at our website walnuttraining.org.